I want to talk to you guys today about the average person and how to go out and pay off 100% of your debt, like your mortgage, in less than 18 months. And then post payoff of all your debt, how you go out and you position yourself to take on, instead of bad debt, good debt, to go out and scale and make money. In 1997, at a time when the FTC shut down the company I was working with, and we went from making over $25,000 a month to zero overnight, I wanted to put myself in a position where I didn't have a lot of debt and I could live a good quality life for very little. So I put together a business model that I lived with forever, where I could live on $4,000 a month. That includes my mortgage payment, my car payments, living in a nice neighborhood, and not have a lot of bills and expendable income that went out on living expenses. Because living expenses are a waste of money. They're a waste of money because they don't make you any money. They're just an expense. And so outside of food, you shouldn't really have to pay for much. Insurance, food, health insurance and food, that's about it. Outside of that, everything else should be a business expense that is tax deductible. And so I want to talk to you guys this morning. Sit back, well, what the hell does that have to do with anything, Jerome? Because I want to talk to you guys today about the average person and how to go out and pay off 100% of your debt, like your mortgage, in less than 18 months. And then post payoff of all your debt, how you go out and you position yourself to take on, instead of bad debt, good debt, to go out and scale and make money, okay? So everybody should have this in mind, because once someone has a peace of mind, like you have a house paid off and you have a roof over your head, it takes away all the petty stuff in your life that you need to worry about, because now all the petty stuff like living expenses for a house or a car payment become a moot point. And when they become a moot point, you can focus on your lifestyle. And more so, like for me, like it was definitely about my lifestyle when I was in my 20s, right? Definitely about my lifestyle when I was in my young 30s. But it was less about my lifestyle once I had kids. So in my young 30s, when I had kids at the age of 33, 34 years old, was I 34 years old? That was a time where I said, okay, it's about their lifestyle. But you need to position yourself, and most parents don't think about this, but you need to position yourself where if you're going to have kids, you think about the lifestyle you're going to provide them. Like, what kind of neighborhood are you going to raise those kids in? What type of food are you going to feed these kids? What type of education are you going to give to these kids? And if you can't honestly say that you're going to give to them the best quality food, the best nutrition, best neighborhood, and a lifestyle that gives them safety, security, and education to set them up for a better quality of life, why are you having kids? And the people that are having kids are the ones that shouldn't. And the people that should be having kids are the ones that are methodical, slow about it, and have less kids because they have a brain on their shoulders. And so I talk to you guys today more from a place of not wealth, because most people don't desire to get wealthy, nor do they think they even have the ability to get wealthy. What they do believe is that they can have a better quality of life by paying the small, petty stuff in life like their mortgage. And so like I was talking to Alec yesterday, and I told him, Alec, bro, you really got to focus on getting a house out of the ground and building a house. And here's why. And I look at it from a perspective when I look at like my family members, because I know for sure that we've affected a lot of their lives in a very positive way, because a lot of them have went off and they've done little fix and flips, or they've done new construction ground up, and just a handful of homes over the course of 30 years has been instrumental in changing the quality of their life because of the financial, and I shouldn't even say financial freedom, I'd say the financial ease that it's given them to not have the burden of a mortgage over their shoulder, but still yet have not just a mortgage that's been relieved in a crappy neighborhood, but to be in a good neighborhood, in a nice, respectful, upper middle class home that you can raise your kids' family and have a good quality of life. And so let's look at this from the average median perspective. You're an average median person. You're working an average median job, making $80,000 a year, even $100,000 a year, $120,000 a year, and you're sitting back with a mortgage. You own a $400,000, $500,000, shit, maybe even a $600,000 home. I don't know. All I know is that the average median home buyer is right around that $400,000 mark, okay? So let's use the average median. Since we're talking about 85% of you guys out there, that's 85% of the population. And there is nothing wrong being in that 85% sector in the immediate moment. Now, there is a problem being in there if you know what I'm going to talk about today and you choose to otherwise stay there, because that's just ignorance. Okay, so let's look at this from an average perspective. Now, you're somebody who has a $400,000 home, okay? Now, let's say that on that $400,000 home, you owe $380,000, okay? Now, we go out and you're making payments. What's 380,000 times 6% mortgage, okay? So we take $380,000 times 0.06. That's $22,800. So that's divided by 12. That's $1,900 a month. Okay. After insurance, after property tax, insurance, about $2,300 per month, all in. Okay. Per month. Now, we go in $1,900 of interest at a $2,300 a month mortgage payment, and this is burning your pocketbook every single month. And truth be told, over 90% of that is not even going towards your principal. It's going towards interest and bullshit. So it's going to take you 30 years to pay off this mortgage. You're going to land up paying over $900,000, about $1 million on your mortgage to actually pay off that home. Do you guys realize that? You guys can all afford $1 million home, because the home that you are living in that costs you $380 is really the equivalence of you paying for a $1 million home. $1 million of your income is literally going to go to your mortgage over the next 30 years. 1 million. And you're living in a $380,000 home. Okay? Not that there's anything wrong with living in a $380,000 home if you don't know what I'm talking about today. Now, we go in, we buy land, we build a house. Let's go through this really, really quick. The average home that we build in our business model, because we focus on the upper middle class, is going to be someplace right around that $750,000 mark. Okay? Now, the land on something like this is going to cost about $130,000 for the land. The bank pays for the land for you. Now, we go in, we pay $130,000 for the land. The house is going to be on average of about 2,500 square feet, okay? This is abbreviation for square feet. Now, the average cost to build a 2,500 square foot home is going to be about $141 per square foot nationwide, national average, according to the National Association of Home Builders. Because our homes are a little nicer, I always tell people, underwrite them at 160, 165 a square foot. So if we go 165 a square foot and we multiply this out, so we go 2,500 times 165, our build cost is going to be about $412. And then we're going to have our closing costs on a $750,000 home is right around 6%. So $45,000 in closing costs and about $20,000 in debt service. If people have to have a loan, right? You want the bank to pay for your land for you, you're going to have debt service on there. Okay, so we take 130 plus 412 plus 45 plus 20 equals 607. Okay, we subtract that from 750. So we take 607 minus 750. That's $143,000 net out. Times 2, that's $283K. Okay, you do 2 of those. The first one's going to take you 12 months. Number 1, 12 months. When you go in, you're going to utilize the capital to actually go out and do a second one. Then you're going to go out and the next one's going to take you 6 months, because the first one, you don't know what the hell you're doing. And you're going to need help, you're going to need assistance, and you're going to need guidance. That's where we come into play. But on the second house, you're going to have that knowledge, you're going to have that information, it's your second run at it, and we're going to go in and help you go set yourself up for your second build. So this is, conservatively speaking, I really think that on a house at $750,000, you're really going to make somewhere closer to about $180,000. But even if you make $140,000, that's $283,000. You sell your house. Now, you owe $380. You've been in that house for a short period of time. You go out, you sell your house, okay? You sell your house. And here's why you sell your house. Because now you go in and your third home, along with your fourth home, you're going to build your own house. And here's why. Because the equity that you have in your own home, you can't get in the open market today, because nobody's going to give you $180,000, $145,000 in equity on any other home. So the best deal that you're going to find on a home is one that you build for yourself. So what happens is, build number 3 and 4, you go in and you build a house and you don't have the closing costs because you're not selling the house. So now you take that $43,000, you add it to the 143, you actually land up $188,000 in equity. Okay? You still have your debt service on your house. So you go in, you have a $750,000 house that you have now, minus the $188,000 that you have in equity. So you have $750 minus 188. You have a house that cost you $562,000, okay? That's your cost. Now, you're going to go in, you're going to sell your house that you've had for 3 years, 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. That house is appreciated in value. The same home that was once worth $400,000 when you bought it is now worth $500,000. You only owe $380. So if you go in and you sell this house for $500K, so you sell your home with equity for $500K, because of the equity you have in it, you have $120,000 in equity when you sell. So you take that $120,000, you add it to the $283. So you take $283 plus $120,000 is $403,000. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're building one more house in alignment with a house that you're building, for yourself, that adds another $143,000. That's $546,000. You've built 3 homes, a 4th one is yours, and it's taking you 18 months to 24 months to go and do it. You could do it at your pace, guys. I'm always a little bit more ambitious. I'm always a little bit more aggressive. If this takes you 36 months, You just shaved 27 years of mortgage payments off of your life in 3 years. Guys, 3 years. You could do this as slow or as aggressive as you want. I'm a very ambitious person. I've always done multiple things at a given time. I know that the vast majority of you guys are not that person. I'm probably less than 1/10 of 1% of all people on this earth. But let's say that you're slow. It takes you 3 years to do it. What else are you doing in 3 years that's going to pay off a house that you have at $750,000 and still gives you a standpoint of $40,000 in equity in that house? Guys, in less than 3 years, your whole cost in is done. You have no mortgage, no payment. You're living in a neighborhood in a $750,000 upper middle class home in a good neighborhood, great place. And now you have an expendable income of $2,300 a month that gets to go not to you, but to the betterment of our children and the next generation. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is really what it's about. Where are you at in your life right now is my question to you. Where do you need to be in your life? And what else do you have going on that's going to set you up in a direction that has a real business model that works? It's homes. And I always tell people, it's a house, guys. You drive down the road, there's houses being framed, stick frames going up all over the place. It's not taboo. We're not putting Martians on the moon. We're not doing an NFT and a cartoon character on a card that holds bullshit value. And we're not flipping Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, I'll tell you guys, is there long-term wealth and longevity in crypto? Yeah, probably. This is houses, guys. It's tangible. You can see it, you can feel it, you can live in it, and it's all over the place. And there's always going to be a need for rooftops between now and the time that we see our grave 6 foot under in a pine box. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you go out and in less than 3 years, in 18 months, you pay off your home. You have a $750,000 home and you go out. And here's what's cool. You can live in that house for 2 years, sell it. That house will probably be worth in excess of $850,000 by the time you sell it. And when you sell that home for $850,000, if you're married, you could take up to $500,000, $250,000 a piece, tax-free in capital gains tax, not pay any capital gains taxes at all, and be tax-free on it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how family members, friends, colleagues, and loved ones have went out and set their lives up for massive success at a very young age. And that's how you compound your success. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys on TikTok, Instagram, God bless you guys. I just wanted to come in real quick, share with you a little bit of how to set yourself up for financial success. Click follow, subscribe to our channels. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Until next time, God bless and have a great weekend.